Hey everybody, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Just let me take a minute to allow all of you guys to join. Welcome to Vinyl Junkies. I'm Sam. I'll give you guys a chance to join us so that we can get to I wouldn't call it a show, but it's been a crazy 48 hours. And, well, I'm going to tell you about it. Are we on? It looks like we're on. Awesome. Okay, so I see us on Facebook and I see us on YouTube, and that'll just have to be enough. So I guess I'm going to say welcome to Vinyl Junkies. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sam. I guess the first thing I want to say to all of you is, hey man, next year, Vinyl Junkies, 10 years. 10 years. I started this whole thing in 2011. Thanks to everybody who's been there. I guess I'm going to get started with my story. I will do my very best to answer your questions. I do see you online, but I'm doing my best over here. Thanks for the message, Thomas Keller. I'm glad to see that it is sounding good over there. If I'm not loud enough, please feel free to let me know. Folks, use the comments section to let me know what's on your mind as well, because I am still trying to figure this out, and we may just not be on YouTube. And if that's the case, that's fine too. Okay, look, the title of the show, or the title of this video, hey, will Vinyl Junkies shut down? It's something that took a lot of people by surprise, very much including myself. So I thought that I'd start at the beginning and tell you what it is that led to that. The beginning was maybe 48 hours ago, more specifically Thursday night, I believe. Thursday night. The entire plan was for me to go on and do our regular VJ radio broadcasts. I hope all of you had a good Thanksgiving. We all know what happens on Record Store Day, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. There's a big sale, and sometimes we get promo copies. So I wanted to do a radio show to celebrate the independent record store. And I found myself... after a few days of feeling this way, it wasn't going away, I thought it might, but after a few days, I realized I was getting up later in the morning, and I didn't want to put in the 12 hours anymore. Something wasn't there. And I guess... here I was going to do this show, and the fact is that I wasn't feeling it. There's a whole bunch of reasons behind all of that, which I will get into. I'll certainly tell you all about them and what happened as a result of that. In order for me to do all of that, if you'll allow me, what I'll do is I'll start from the very beginning, okay? I'll start with 2011 when I first began Vinyl Junkies. By the way, thanks for tuning in. I don't know who's watching. I would like very much to... 16 of you watching, thank you. I'll try as much as possible to read your comments, okay, so that we can make this as interactive an experience. So let me start at the very beginning, okay? I'm sorry for those of you who are looking for vinyl entertainment specifically, or music, or a radio show, or a regular radio show. That's not what this is about. It isn't. This is basically for the community. I posted something a few days ago. I believe I posted it on Thursday, right when I was supposed to do the Record Store Day Black Friday show. The idea there was I really, really love tradition. So I thought about doing a Black Friday show at midnight so that people waiting in line to buy all of their treasures in record stores can celebrate together. And hey, maybe some people would listen to the music. I look at things like that sometimes, and the idea pleases me. I thought we have enough of an audience, and it didn't matter to me if 10 or 15 or 50 or 0 people watched. To me, the intent is what mattered. So I wanted to do all of that, but it's been a long haul. What's been happening? I guess I'll tell you the message, okay, and then go back. The message is that I wrote on Thursday was... only in our Vinyl Junkies Facebook group, so not the page and all the other channels, just the Facebook group, which still has 23,000 members. My message was, I'm reading it, so sorry if I'm not looking into the camera. Hey, no midnight RSDBF show tonight. I'm not feeling it. The lack of community support for Vinyl Junkies has me thinking that I might be crazy, that this was a good idea. Depression has sapped my will to continue. I guess I was wrong to believe that VJ would support itself, and that's on me. Community equals give and take, and in that respect, Vinyl Junkies has failed. VJ may be shutting down next year. I can't keep doing it if I'm driving Uber. We all gotta eat. I can't for the life of me figure out why I've failed so far. And I can't force you to support it. The part that hurts the most is that I failed my family. I really believed in this VJ community. I really believed in this idea of it takes a family, it takes a village, you know. I was a fool. Hard facts. And then I signed it the way I usually sign everything, SP. So, I wish I could say that I did that for effect, but I didn't do it for effect. I felt that. And it's to this day one of the hardest things I've ever done, for the simple fact that, look, man, I can't hide what Vinyl Junkies means to me. And when I go back, I'll explain to you what it means to me. And admitting failure, it doesn't mean that I wasn't willing to work hard to get it somewhere. That's not what this was about. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But there was something very specific happening. All of my efforts to make this go forward weren't working. Okay, now, it should be said that Vinyl Junkies changed. There's been an evolution over 10 years. I think that's pretty natural too. So I guess I'll start by telling you why it began in the first place. The reason it began in the first place is, I know that, some of you know this story. Others don't, but Sam Panacchio, man, I used to be a former banker. I started in the life insurance business, age 25, 26. I've worked since the age of 12. I've never not worked. I come from a blue-collar family. I respect hard work. I like working hard. I was a financial advisor. Now, you would think that's a good thing, because it is. I mean, hey, I'd go on vacation twice a year, had a nice car, went to nice restaurants, lived nice. I could afford to go to the hockey game. I'd go to concerts, a bunch, all that stuff, right? Now, I won't say that, I was a huge big shot, but I was in this world where money, or the illusion of money, was something that was very, very important, and it paid better than I've ever been paid in my life. See, the thing is that I was married and I had maybe a 1 or a 2-year-old daughter. Sophia must have been that age. She must have been 2 years old when we moved here. And you're supposed to be happy, right? The career's on its right path, everything. I was fucking miserable. I wanted to kill myself. I was suicidal. With a family. Not a good thing. In short, I had a mental breakdown. I broke down as a human being because I realized that the corporate world was not for me. I can't do it. There's no price that you can pay. So, I'm too stubborn to quit. So, I guess my body quit for me, or my mind quit for me. I had an absolute fucking breakdown and just couldn't function anymore, and stayed on disability for the longest time as I worked it all out. Destroyed. So, what do you do when you're a music fan? What do you do when music has been the soundtrack of your life, your entire life, and that's been your go-to? More than people. Because, people can be pricks. So what do you do? And then what do you do, even if you do want to talk music? Because as you're recovering, as you're trying to solve your life, as you're trying to put the pieces together of your life, the music soundtracks all of that. Because it's part of you. all of you understand this. All of you understand this connection. So that connection was with me as well. I saw the other groups, and look, I'm an old hand when it comes to the internet. I'm nearly 50 years old. I've been on the internet since 1997, so I've been in every music group possible, because the minute it is that I started on the internet, the first thing I looked for, and the primary thing, was always music. Music and art. Music and art. It's always been what takes me forward. Again, I know that I'm not alone. So now I had this time on my hand, a broken man. I needed to fill my time, so the internet wasn't going to make me feel any better. Let's face it. I mean, there's a lot of nice people, but for the most part, the internet, and because it's an anonymous place, just brings out the worst in humanity. In a lot of cases, it's a cesspool of just absolute nonsense. And if you go to enough music groups, or any kind of hobby group, anything that you really love, if you belong to those groups, you know that eventually there's somebody who's going to come in, and these people are there to cause shit. And I didn't want to go through any of that. I wanted to talk about music with people who cared about music, so I put together a Vinyl Junkies group, a community with rules. And it worked. One person became 100 people, and then it became 1,000 people, and then 10,000, and right now, as we go into 2020, next year, we celebrate 10 years, and the Vinyl Junkies group, the group itself, is 23,000 members, all of us from all around the world. We share music, we share our passion, and we put a link on every personal post that we have, because it's supposed to be personal. It's not supposed to be a JPEG from the net. And there's a music link there so that you can have an interactive experience, and just with a set of rules saying don't be an asshole, basically. This is a garden. This is a community. Treat it well. The community is only as good as the people in that community and the way they conduct themselves in that community. So let's just put everything aside, religion, politics, everything, and let's focus on what I consider to be the best part of humanity, art. It's unbelievable how you can take some of the worst, most repugnant human beings in the world. You get them making art, and they make some of the most powerful, poignant, beautiful, touching, soul-moving art. So art is the best part of humanity. So for me, it's kind of like, all right, well, if we want this to be good, we'll set together a set of rules so that happens. And it worked. And it pissed a lot of people off. It pissed so many people off. Because how dare these people, who the fuck do they think they are? They're snobs. No. It just means that nobody likes being around an asshole. So we made sure that we took care of all of that, and it worked. Now, as the years go by, you get better. And you reach a point where it's kind of like, okay, what do you do? Vinyl Junkies grew to an enormous size. Something happened that I didn't think as I was putting my life together and watching this community based on this idea of positivity, this idea of sharing with other people all over the world through our love of art. Not through being able to discuss what you hate. This album sucked. Metallica stopped being good at not that, because that shit causes problems, but focusing on the things that are beautiful about art, focusing on the ties that bind. And what happened is that as the page grew, as everything grew, some of the people in the industry, some of the record labels, some of the people started to take notice that there was this powerful thing happening between us as we hung out together. And I got offered sponsorship. So I took that sponsorship. And for me, you see, the thing is that I guess I'm shit at making money, because especially in this particular case, Vinyl Junkies, that's just not what motivates me. I started Vinyl Junkies because I had no choice. Because I need this in my life, because I can't imagine it. Everybody needs a safe space in the world. Everybody. We go through things. We all have hard times. We're alone sometimes. We're not able to express ourselves problems, what we have inside. There are a whole bunch of reasons. Vinyl Junkies is a safe space. It's a safe space where we get together over art. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, this sponsorship thing to me, it never really occurred to me. It never occurred to me as Vinyl Junkies as a business because that's not what I was doing. But what it is that I did with this sponsorship as it was coming together, I was like, hey, you know what? This works. This audience is powerful. What it is that I did was, now it should be said actually that when I got the sponsorship, everybody was happy. Nobody, I mean, there were a couple of people that called it selling out or whatever, but for the most part, everyone was happy. And the reason everyone was happy is because I used this sponsorship not to my advantage. I used this sponsorship to build the community even further. So I bought this camera, and I bought this computers, and I bought these lights, and I just kept putting back. And I basically, for all of those people who thought that, hey, you know, this guy's basically profiting from us, because that's certainly something that I deal with on a it's a type of comment that I contend with on a practically daily basis. The fact of the matter is that it never occurred to me to take it for myself because it takes a village. Because I believe in community, and I started it, right? So I gotta believe in it. Anybody who starts a community and then all of a sudden starts doing it for the money never really cared to begin with. All right? They're sellouts. If I wanted to be a sellout, I'd still be a banker. I couldn't do it. My soul couldn't do it. That's not what Vinyl Junkies was ever about. It was always about community first. And so I invested in community because I saw a bigger picture. And here we are. Now you reach a point where you have to go forward, and something happened with these sponsors along the way. First of all, I mean, it certainly led to one thing. I got a whole ton of great records, which I could tell you about. We were able to do a ton of giveaways. So the community really benefited from that because these sponsors liked my idea of community. At one point, we did a sock drive for one of basically the charity that I care about most, Dans la Rue, which is a charity that basically takes care of homeless teenagers. And we raised $1,400. It was supposed to start as a sock fund. But over 3 days, all of a sudden, you know, the idea of socks, you can't buy $1,400 worth of socks. So I wound up buying winter boots, new winter boots for everybody, as much as I could out there. Did I take this money for myself? I didn't take this money for myself. I didn't take this money for myself. It wasn't mine. It's charity. But again, this entire idea, and the reason it is that I say that is because I'm thankful to the sponsors because they allowed me to do this. Okay, but something happened eventually, and I guess I'm a shit businessman because Vinyl Junkies isn't a business to me. Vinyl Junkies is my life's mission. I can't look at it that way. Not the reason I did it. I've chased money from beginning to end. The humiliation that I've had to go through, I've had to base myself. I've had to basically reduce myself to begging in order to get paid in a lot of cases. Because money not coming to you 1 month, okay, fine, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, yes, that long. So again, for all of you that talked about, me making money hand over fist over this, look, the reality is that I've put everything into Vinyl Junkies because I care about it that much. And the reality is that as of this moment here, what are we? We're Saturday at 7:53 p.m. I'm owed close to $20,000. And I'm not going to name names because I don't do that. And I've had to chase for the rest of it. Now, some of it is coming. Some of it I have no idea. And I'm pretty sure 9,000 of it that I'm never going to see. Now, these aren't small guys, these are big guys. Okay? All this is to say that the reason it is that I left the bank, and the reason it is that I started Vinyl Junkies, all of a sudden was coming back, and I was dealing with this stuff that was making me miserable. I was having to beg for money that was owed to me. Have you ever had to beg for something that belongs to you? Have you ever had to ask for things dozens of times? Hey, welcome to my world. Glamorous, isn't it? So the reason it is that I'm telling you this is certainly I'm not going to ever throw anyone under the bus here because I learned. But you noticed at one point last year where I basically stopped making videos at some point, stopped with sponsorships, and the assumption in the community was that I lost all sponsorships because I'm way too abrasive. Now, I'm a crotchety fuck. Okay? That's not going to change. But that's not what happened there. What happened is that I just stopped because I got fed up of begging. It's just, fuck this. I'm done, man. I'm done. I can't continue this way. And, didn't know what I was going to do with Vinyl Junkies. It didn't matter because there was this big thriving community and I have a responsibility towards all of you. I have a responsibility towards making sure that we keep it honest and that the principles of community, the principles of doing for each other, the principles of just focusing on good things. That doesn't mean that you're wearing rose-colored glasses. I know there's shit out there. We all know there's shit out there. Enough. We don't need to see that every day. We need safe spaces. Some of it, so everyone's got their safe space. Well, mine is music. And judging by the nearly 150,000 Vinyl Junkies worldwide right now, because that's how big the community is right now, I'm not alone. Right? But I couldn't beg anymore because it's denigrating. It's denigrating. When you pay somebody, when you hire somebody to do a job, pay them. Simple as that. I mean, there's no excuse. Okay, I don't owe anything to anybody. As a matter of fact, I mean, anything that I've ever done through Vinyl Junkies, I've paid everybody, every cent. Always. Because I never considered it any other way. So, we move forward to, all right, well, what do I do at this point, right? Because, do I drive Uber? What do I do? Because there's something unfortunate here. And I think it was taken for granted by a lot of people. They liked it when the sponsors were there because it meant free records. And a lot of people got free records. A lot of people did. And it made me happy to do that. And we gave money to charity. We did a lot of positive things because of it. Okay, so to say that I didn't receive everything, that's not true either. I received a lot of it and I gave back. So we're here because of sponsors. Let's be clear. Let's be absolutely clear. Okay? But I can't be beholden to that anymore because, well, you know, hey, here I am and somebody still, you know, I'm still owed nearly $20,000 for work I've done. I already know that I'm not going to see half. What's the point, you know? So as you move forward, eventually, I got offered the possibility, again, from a sponsor to sponsor a store so that they could put their store in our area and they could make money from you. And then I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to do that, why don't I do it for myself? So I put together this little store and handpicked a bunch of things. The entire idea there, again, really made me happy because it is service to the community. It allows us. All of a sudden I had a concept. All of a sudden I had an idea. VJ radio. Okay? And because I had a store, it's like, okay, well, how do you sell records in a way that's honest and passionate where you don't make it about money? Well, you talk about your passion and you play the record. And this didn't exist on the internet, so a light went off and I decided, you know what, I'm going to start this. And I created VJ Radio. And VJ Radio went on, does go on every Tuesday and every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The idea there was, as I put together this little store, which, you know, was a couple of items, and then it became a couple of dozen items, and then I went making vinyl in Los Angeles and Hollywood and made certain that I could really do something super special for you. And here we are now, and it still doesn't work properly, but if you go visit vinyljunkies.store right now, there's over 42,000 records, 42,000 vinyl records out there. Okay? And we get the records from the same place as Amazon.com and all these. And the difference is that we deal in vinyl, so you're not going to get your records all fucked up. We package the records properly because we have proper vinyl packaging and we get it straight to you. So to me, I thought that that was an amazing thing. That is service to the community. That is entirely what the idea is. Now, a few things happened. The first thing that happened immediately, was backlash. Now, this is year 9 of Vinyl Junkies, right? So we've been doing it for a long time. The backlash came from people who were around for a long, long time, who all of a sudden, after all of this time, began questioning my motives. Well, he created Vinyl Junkies because he wants to make money off our back. This one line that one guy said was, and he said it twice, so he obviously meant it, is just, oh yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to use us to line your pockets with cash. Guess what? I've lost money, I haven't made money, and I did it with all my heart because I care about this, period. So, I guess it makes some people feel, this part will probably make some people feel better to know I didn't make money. I didn't. But I had this store and I had this brilliant idea and had a whole lot of obstacles to go through. The first obstacle is playing music on a radio show is a real problem due to copyright laws. The copyright laws haven't caught up to the show that I'm trying to create. To me, VJ Radio is about creating the old style of radio. What's the best way to sell a record? People who buy vinyl aren't buying music. Music is free. You can go to Spotify. That's not what they're buying. Vinyl is a different creature altogether. People who buy records are absolutely have different habits. I think I understand that because I've been collecting them my entire life. I'm pushing 50 now. Right? So I knew this. So VJ Radio, the entire idea is the best way to sell a record is the way they used to sell it back then. You play it for them. Play the song, talk about it. Without the car commercials that you'd have on, just talk about the music. So we put together this 2-hour show with the idea that we'd go on live on Tuesdays and Fridays, and the community would band together, and we'd hang out and we'd talk about music. And because we're at the internet stage of things, we can talk. And I can read your comments right now. Long live Wax. Mike Kelly, I see that. Sean Jones, hi there, I see that. Mike Kelly's from Canada. You understand? It's something very powerful. Now, if all of a sudden we play some music and I turn on these turntables, as this is happening, it's something very powerful that goes on. Okay? I believe in the concept. The problem is that copyright hasn't come around to that. So I kept getting shut down on Facebook. And when I wouldn't get shut down, then they'd mute it. So basically it rendered the live stream completely useless. Okay? Warner Brothers gave us copyright, and it worked well, and it's a process, okay? But it gave me hope. And YouTube didn't seem to be taking shows down. But the thing with shows and when they'd be taken down and when they wouldn't be taken down, that target changes every week. Every week. I wish I could say differently. Because once upon a time, Facebook was the problem and YouTube wasn't. Now YouTube blocks everything. And Facebook doesn't. And I'm still trying to find a way to bring it all together. What it is that I'm trying to say is that this idea of this community, all of us hanging together, isn't there yet. Because it can't be there. Because I'm fucking bouncing us around from one area to another, and we haven't been able to be static long enough for this idea of mine to happen. But in between all of these problems, I saw the community, when it was allowed to grow, I saw growth. And I saw people buying records. And this excited me, man. This is why I went to making vinyl in Hollywood to strike up this deal to put 42,000 records in vinyljunkies.store for you. I mean, think about something. Hey, Mr. Big Shots, right? I'm the Monopoly man. What do you think? Do you think that a store like that, adding 42, do you think that happens by itself? Do you think nobody pays for this? Okay, so you see, what happens is that as my idea of Vinyl Junkies growing into something for you, okay, I mean, unless you still think that I'm in it for the money, for you, for the bigger picture, because I believe in I believe it takes a village. I believe in community. When you have a community picnic or when a family gets together for a barbecue, one person brings one thing, one person brings another, everybody eats. And if you know that there's one family member that's on hard times, you don't have to bring anything in. That's okay. So it brought me to the idea of John Bon Jovi. All right, I guess here's where it is that I talk about the first real artist. John Bon Jovi has something called JBJ's Soul Kitchen. The idea is real simple. He has a restaurant. He now has 2 restaurants where you pay what you can. And if you can't pay, everybody eats. No matter what. Now, those who want to go there get good, wholesome food, and patrons are suggested to pay $20 for their meal, and they get a nice meal. Supposedly, I've never been myself. And there's always a waiting line to get into this place. And those who can't afford to eat, including homeless people, can pay through work. Wash dishes, I don't know what that work consists of. But a really beautiful community thing. Now, anybody that thinks that John Bon Jovi did all of this to make money has a hole in their head. Okay? This is something that you do just out of love. This is something that you do out of community. And the idea of that greatly inspires me. Greatly inspires me. Because you need a safe space. And the idea of helping people when they have nowhere to turn is something that's important. And music is magic. Art is magic. So we can do that for people. You lose loved ones, you get divorced, your girlfriend runs out on you, your dog dies. You're sad. Come hang out, man. Let's spin some records. We get it. We get it. It's a beautiful human place of the internet. It's our little corner and it's members only. And we throw out garbage. We clean the garden. We make sure that the garden is free of weeds. No cigarette butts, no nothing. You understand? Beautiful thing. As all of these hurdles were happening with Vinyl Junkies, you know, this is being taken down. Right now, the current status is I can't really stream live on YouTube without getting taken down because everything gets taken down eventually. Almost, it's just, I don't know which songs do and which songs don't. So it's a complete clusterfuck. But one thing that was happening on the regular was that I wasn't really seeing sales. So because the audience was kind of like, you know, small, enthusiastic, super enthusiastic, because I see your messages and you guys have been really, really nice, man. Clearly you care about it. Good, man. I do too. I really do. And some of you have bought records. Okay? But a lot of it due to the format, due to copyright and everything, the sales weren't coming in. And even then, right from the very beginning, look, the entire thing is on growth because at no point were there nearly enough sales to ever be able for Vinyl Junkies to continue. Okay? Because there's a big problem. And this is the problem, that all of those people who shit on me because I'm in it for the money, even charities, gotta keep the lights on. You know, people who run charities, even the honest charities, the really, really, really honest charities, they give 90% of their money to the cause. They still have people there, employees that need to be paid. Somebody needs to mop the floors. The lights need to be paid. See, in order for me to do all of this, it's taking 12 plus hours a day, which I did with all my heart, with joy. But I reached a point where it's like, well, now, what do I do? How do I continue this? I've shut down sponsors because at least I've put a pause on it. I think I found another way. We're going to get to that. But basically because I want to always go back to the original idea, the original mission statement, community, through art. How do I best do that? The store wasn't working. The sales went to zero, and it was zero every day. The radio show has its challenges. It still has its challenges. But I didn't even know. The labels right now are really hard to deal with because distribution, vinyl distribution, is such a clusterfuck right now. The vinyl industry is suffering worse now than it ever has since everything started taking off. So again, those of you that think that it's easy, and you know, there's people who are rich, getting rich off vinyl, you're crazy. The independent record store, when you go see them, give them a hug, man. Those people are the salt of the earth. They're not doing it for money. They're doing it because they believe in something. We can't all live in the same place, and I understand the magic of a record store. So my idea of VJ Radio is to bring the record store to you. VinylJunkies.store is there. There's 42,000 records. And we do a show like this, and we talk to each other, and the records that I'm spinning, I talk about them, and if they're available in the store, you go buy them. I think it's such an amazing idea, and I strongly believe in this idea. Okay? So, if it was really about money, I can do what all the other YouTube superstars are doing. Don't put any music, and I don't have to worry about copyright. But you see, that's not the point. The point isn't money. The point is doing something right. And I believe strongly, very, very, very strongly in what I'm doing. So there is no choice. The music has to be there. Because I'm not interested in being a celebrity. I don't care about that. I don't need fans. I just want to talk music with you. I want to connect through art with you. That's what I want. I want us to build something special. So Friday comes along and I realize, well, after weeks of seeing nothing in the stores, nothing's coming in, and Thursday comes around and I don't know who's going to watch it and where it's going to go on and if I'm going to get turned off. I have no fucking idea over anything. It's like, I just realized that I didn't want. It's just, I started worrying. It's like, fuck, what do I do? Because something came into the picture. It's like, well, this is all really nice, and I really do believe in this. I do believe in Vinyl Junkies, but I can't hurt my family. I gotta eat. I gotta keep the lights on. I have a family to support. I have all those bills that all of you have. Now, while I was getting better, when I was broken and I was getting better, I had support. And my wife still works. She's a champion. Okay? You want to know who the number one Vinyl Junkies supporter is? My wife. She is my rock. You should only be so lucky to have somebody in your corner, no matter what, thick and thin. So, but the thing is it's not enough. And when we got married, it was me supporting the family. And now, all of a sudden, it's her supporting the family. So, it's not enough. So here I am trying to continue this Vinyl Junkies thing. I'm seeing nothing. I see nothing that tells me that we're going forward in a positive manner. I have people telling me that I'm selling out and that I'm a prick because I'm trying to make money off of you. And the reason it is that I started Vinyl Junkies is because of money. And then you got just, the natural. I'm taking shit from everywhere. And I got people that I've worked for who haven't paid me yet. What am I doing it for? So all of a sudden, depression occurred. And I think, those who really have been following me, I suffer from bipolar disorder. So it's not something I've had to contend with very much because work and a purpose in life, it's unbelievable what it does. And Vinyl Junkies just gave me wings every morning because I believed in it. But at some point, I just didn't see the way forward. And that was Thursday. And Thursday night before that happened, it was a couple of days that I don't see the way forward. It's like, I can't continue this. I'm going to hurt my family. I mean, my family can't suffer because of my dream. And I didn't have the ideas. I no longer knew where anything was going. And so I wrote the message that I wrote. I'll read it to you, okay? I'll read it to you verbatim. I did read it to you already. But, hey, midnight... No midnight show tonight. I'm not feeling it. The lack of community support for Vinyl Junkies has me thinking that I might have been crazy to think this was a good idea. depression has sapped my will to continue. I guess it was wrong to believe that Vinyl Junkies would support itself. That's on me. Community equals give and take, and in that respect, Vinyl Junkies has failed. VJ may be shutting down next year. I can't keep doing it if I'm driving Uber. See, because this takes time. This takes a lot of time. And I'm in over my head, as a matter of fact. But I've done it because I care. So, after leaving this message, the response was, no. You can't. Now, when I left this message, you have to understand something. I really believed nobody gave a shit. That's the truth. This is where the magic comes in. Okay, I believed that nobody gave a shit. And the idea of letting go of Vinyl Junkies devastates me. I don't know what I'd do with my life. This is what I was meant to do. When I see everything that we've built together, all the lives we've touched, people traveling, people being there for each other in their hour of need, people sending records to each other, it's been a beautiful thing. It would devastate me not to have this, because the first time I created Vinyl Junkies, I did it for me because I needed it. And now it looks like a bunch of us needed it, but I was serious when I said that. And I still am, kinda, sorta. If, my family has to come first, and I'm never gonna get rich off Vinyl Junkies, and it doesn't matter either, because that's not why you live life to be happy, not to be rich. Now, money is what makes you happy, then that's too bad. But, I think once your basic human needs are taken care of, to me the rest is gravy. We haven't taken a vacation in this house in over 10 years. I'd like to be able to afford that. I would, but we're modest. We're okay. But we're not going to be okay for long if I continue going like this, because at that point, it doesn't work. So I knew, it's like, if this doesn't work in the next, I don't know how long anymore, I'm going to have to shut it down, because I'm not going to do this halfway, and I'm not going to let the work that we've done together be destroyed because I'm not there to take care of it properly. I'm not going to let the weeds grow. So the idea of shutting down the VJ forum and shutting down the entire thing became a very real reality for the first time ever. And the community basically immediately began responding, saying, no, we got to do something. We got to fix this somehow. Of course, you get some negative messages. You always get some negative messages. Like one guy, well, Mano, if that's the way you feel, then just quit. Fuck it. Why don't you go get a JOB like everybody else? To my response is, well, what is a JOB? I spend 12 plus hours a day putting together a community that makes you happy. I do everything that I can to try to create content, to engage you, to create a safe space. That's not work. It takes me 12 plus hours a day. So what do you mean by no JOB? I guess I'm not doing a job. So those people, fuck them. Who cares? But everybody else seems to understand that there's a great deal of effort that goes into it. So I did something that was a complete shot in the dark, an absolute complete shot in the dark. I promise I had no thought of it whatsoever. Those of you that have heard of Patreon. Patreon is a patron-backed place where people like me, or artists, trying to do something, can receive backing from the people who wish to support it. And you can do different levels. Now, for me, it's something I never thought about for a few things. Number one, because I never really did it for the money. But the reality is that I got to look at that now, for sure. And secondly, it always felt a little bit like begging. And I'm a proud guy, man. I believe in earning your keep. Very much, very much. Work is important to me. I absolutely believe in earning your keep. So, the idea of begging absolutely fucking demolished me. It's not... I'm not good at asking, man. That's absolutely not. But it's like, when you run out of ideas and you see the community saying, man, we got to do something. And all of a sudden, a couple of people come out and say, well, hey, is there any way that I can give? And they started saying, hey, the reason it is that I didn't buy anything from the stores. I didn't know that it even existed. So there was a disconnect between the way I was doing it. Clearly, there were a lot of things I was missing, and the marketing isn't right. Again, because I never really did it for money, I did it for community. So I accept my shortcomings when it comes to that. I just want to talk about music. And I don't have the funds to hire somebody to take care of all of that stuff for me. I want with all my heart to give that to you, but I'm doing the best I can. Okay? And, the second thing, like I said, it's just I never cared about it. That's not why I did Vinyl Junkies. And I had this Patreon account, which I parked for a long time. Never used it. So I took a shot in the dark after people were saying, hey, you know what, I didn't know about the store, but now that I do, please tell us more about it. That made me really happy. But the thing that gave me most hope is people that were saying, I would support this. Even if I can't buy a record from you, I would absolutely support this. What can we do? Can we make t-shirts? Can we make anything? So the shot in the dark was Patreon. And now I'm going to show you a screen. Something happened over the last bunch of years. Over the last few days. This happened. Just give me a second and I'll put it up. I put the Patreon account up, and you're going to be seeing it soon. That's what happened. Over the last maybe 48 hours, 19 patrons contributed $118 a month. So there are people that decided that they wanted for Vinyl Junkies to continue. And this happened. Now, I don't know if this is up to date or not. I haven't refreshed the page. I guess I should try it. But, okay, so we're still at 19 patrons at 118. And I made sure that, if this is really cool, something happened. You guys taught me something. You guys showed me that sometimes you got to ask for help. It never occurred to me to ask for help. It occurred to me to earn my money. That's why I wanted to open the store, because I wanted to earn my money. But it's not begging if people are giving it to you and people support you. And sometimes you have to be able to leave people support you. And then, as I saw people giving and wanting to become VJ patrons all by themselves, I realized it's not charity if people are giving it to you and want to support you. I'm not asking for this. They gave. Now, let's not, get our titties in a twist either. 19 patrons at $118 a month certainly doesn't pay a whole lot. But that's not the point here to me. That's not the point at all. The point is that it's a beginning. I see something. And I see that there are people that do believe in this, and there are people that do understand that it takes a great deal of work, and that I basically put my entire life and energy and passion and heart into this. And I won't do it halfway. I care. And that's worth supporting. It never occurred to me this way. It occurred to me that I earn it through records. That's the way it occurs to me. So that's where we are right now. We have a Patreon account, and you'll notice the bit.ly link right there. I'd encourage you to visit if you wish. bit.ly, so bit.ly/VJPatron. It allows you to, hey, if you believe in this, you can contribute towards the community that you've helped build and you've helped sustain for as little as $2 a month. If you've got more, great. If you don't have anything, great. That's okay. You remember what I said about John Bon Jovi's Soul Kitchen? Those who can't afford to pay can still come. Tell us your stories. Play your records. Enjoy yourself. It takes a village. It takes a village. All of us together, if just a few of us get together and can make it happen, I will work for you for the rest of my life. I will do this for the rest of my life for you. I love this. I love Vinyl Junkies. I love talking to you. I love talking about music. I love what you give me. I love what we give each other. So all of a sudden, this idea that I first saw as begging isn't begging at all. It seems to be maybe the way forward, and if anything, it seems like the most honest, sincere, and concrete and secure way forward, because I trust every one of those 19 people up to now that contributed because they did it because they want to. That's amazing to me. It never occurred to ask that way. It occurred for me to try to earn your business through the store. The store's not ready. You guys told me. I get it. But we can still move forward. So the answer to the question, will Vinyl Junkies shut down? You guys have provided me with that answer. No, Vinyl Junkies won't shut down. And the reason it is that you won't shut down is because you won't let it shut down. I'm still looking. I think maybe we may have gotten knocked off. Just give me a second, okay? I'm sorry if I have to go from one screen to another, but that's the way it goes. Okay, so we're still on. I'm going to keep going. Are we where we need to be? Well, look, I'm going to ask you the question. Would your basic human needs be handled on $118 a month? You know, all it is that I can point to is 9 years of having done Vinyl Junkies, and you guys can draw your conclusions as to what my intentions are during those 9 years. All I could do is I can point to you and tell you, you know, what have I done when it is that I've gotten anything out of this monetarily? Well, you can choose not to believe me, but what it is that I've told you and what I'm going on record as telling you is that I put every last cent back. And more. So I've put my money where my mouth is. I've put my efforts where my mouth is. I've put my heart. I've put my soul. I've put everything. But now we're at the point where I can't put my family at risk anymore. So can we continue? I hope so. This gives me hope. Absolutely, I promise it does. Look, now I got good stuff coming up for you. Okay, I got good news for you. I mean, some of you are seeing this record on the side because we're going to do something. Down at the bottom here on the screen, you noticed I said VJ Community Drive, and I put the link, right? So bit.ly/VJ Patron. And at the bottom it says 50 patrons equals a $50 charity donation plus vinyl prize draw. Now, my first reaction when I saw even the slightest bit of patronage was, it's a gift from God, man. We got to do something in order to make this mean something. So I wanted to just take the entire thing and give the amount away to charity, to Dans la Rue, to the charity that matters to me the most. You know, to repeat, Dans la Rue is a charity that's been here in Montreal for over 30 years, and their mission statement is to help young kids from troubled homes who are on drugs, down on their luck, and have nowhere else to turn. They offer a free meal, they offer counseling, they offer doctors. They take care of people who can't take care of themselves and are too young to take care of themselves. Now, the reason it is that this charity means so much to me and why it's close to my heart is because I've been that poor, and I've never gone and eaten a hot dog at Pop's truck, but I knew where it was. I knew that if I needed it, it was there for me. Now, if you've ever been there, if you've ever been to the point where you've had to struggle and go through the folds of your couch so that you can find 59 cents so that you can go get yourself a box of Kraft dinner, you'll feel that. That's why the charity means something to me. So my first feeling of, well, we should give the first month to them. They need it more than we do. My wife says, Sam, we do too. You're always so ready. You're always... We do too. All right? Somehow, I strongly believe in giving back, and I want to give back. So what it is that I decided to do is give back in a way that made a whole lot of sense, okay? The drive will be to 50 patrons. If we hit 50 patrons, we're going to do two things. And this is for all 19 of you that have supported Vinyl Junkies so far. You now have a 1 in 19 chance of winning some nice records. I don't know what that prize record is, but if we get to 50, okay, I'm going to make a draw. One of you is going to get some nice records, and I'm going to start calling some of those labels that supported me and seeing if I can put together a nice prize pack for you. All right? Because I've added a corporate level to Patreon. Because, hey, maybe record stores want to support, maybe the small labels, and everybody does at the level that they want. There's something just so honest and wholesome about that, you know? I'm not charging you X amount. You give what you think is right, and you support how you want. And if you don't want to support, then don't. And if you can't support, that's fine. Okay? But for as low as $2, and there's corporate rates also, you can support. 50 patrons means I'm going to take $50 and I'm going to give that $50 on behalf of Vinyl Junkies, not on behalf of me, to this charity, Dans la Rue, and we're going to make a difference. We get to 100, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if we get to 100, I'll make it $100 and so forth. But let's concentrate on small goals, okay? 50 patrons. I'd really like to get there because if that happens, we're going to do some good for people who need it more than we do. We're going to take care of kids who can't take care of themselves. And I'm going to make you guys feel great for what you've accomplished. So I don't know what records I'm going to give away yet because I haven't even begun. This is something that I put together. Like I said, it's just 48 hours, man. It's not long at all. But listen, I got some pretty deep stacks. And if it's not sponsors that I am able to get to send you some really cool records, I'm going to send them from my own stacks. And I'm going to pay the postage out of my pocket so that I can send you something to say thank you for being a patron. 19 of you. Thank you. We got to get to 50. I'm sorry about that part. I'm hoping you understand. It almost makes me uncomfortable. But this has to get better. So I'm not appealing to those who see no value in this at all. I am absolutely not appealing to those who don't have it. If you don't have it, don't give it. Please don't. Just know that you're always welcome, no matter what. It's not pay to play. It's community. People bring what they can and they contribute what they can. And together we build something beautiful. That beautiful thing is the Vinyl Junkies community, the VJ community. So you give what you can. And with that, I'll try to do something special for you because now I feel a certain responsibility. I feel a certain connection. I wasn't expecting that, but I feel a certain connection to those 19 who did contribute. So the idea of monthly draws for free records for patrons, yeah, man, I'm feeling that. Those of you that are supporting, I'm going to support right back. I'm going to try to do something special with this. This is just the beginning. I just want to show you I guess I want to tickle your tits a little bit and show you some records, just to give you an idea of the types of records that I would get for you. Okay? You're not getting garbage. Okay? This is just a little, this is just a sample of what it is that I can give you. The way it is that I'm going to do this also is, I think the way it is that I'm feeling it right now is that I don't want to tell you what you're going to get. The reason for that is because it is really about community. It's about the conversations and the give and take that happens between us, the magic. The magic isn't me. The magic is us together, sharing through music, positively. That's where the magic is. So when I pick the winner, and I'm going to pick my numbers, when I pick the winner, I'm going to take the time to get to know you. I'm going to announce the winner. I'm going to take the time to get to know you through conversation, through what we do, to find out what your tastes are, and I'm going to send you a surprise. And I'll try to pick a surprise that makes sense for you. So the cool part about that is that you won't know what you're getting. How about that? You might get this typo negative record. I have a double of it. How about a new ZZ Top record? I've got a few ZZ Top records. This is the fun part, right? How about an Alice Coltrane record? Brand new, sealed. I bought this. The reason it is that I didn't unseal it is because I brought it home and realized that I had a copy already. How about Madonna, Like a Virgin? New, Rocktober series, white vinyl. Doom. After I got the VMP version, I didn't need this copy anymore. This is a most excellent hip-hop record. How about the sealed copy of Cannibal Ferox? Yeah. I'll find something, is what it is that I'm telling you. Some Bad Religion, some Wilco, How about a John Coltrane record? Anybody out there still not have A Love Supreme? Because you should. New stuff. How about Sharon Van Etten? Or Brittany Howard? All this is to say that I'm going to make sure that the price is really good. Because my goal over here is not to make money. My goal over here is to give positively to the community. Because when I die, I want it to mean something. I want to know that I did right by my life. And I think we all like to do things to make us feel good about ourselves. I need to feel good about myself. It's something that's important. So anybody that helps me create this Vinyl Junkies community deserves to be treated like gold, because you are. And those who contribute, even $2 a month, thank you. Thank you for the first time, for giving me hope, for making me realize that it's okay to admit that you need, and for taking care of this community. Just know that you're not giving the money to me. You're giving the money to Vinyl Junkies. You're giving the money to your own community. If you enjoy it, consider it. Okay. Let me work on putting all of this together for you. I don't even know how long I've spoken. Do you want me to answer any questions? Because I could do that. You know what? Why don't I, before I shut down, wow, I've been going for over an hour, eh? The good thing about this, is that ironically, if I put this up on YouTube and Facebook, well, Facebook no, but if I put this up on YouTube, I'll actually get paid for my views because there's no music. There's nothing for me to get thrown out for. So, funny how that works, right? I'm going to look at some questions here on Facebook and try to answer them for you. By the way, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a lovely long weekend, my American friends. Just give me a little while, okay, to get to questions. Matthias Gustafsson, long-time Vinyl Junkies member. We share a love of a lot of things, but he is a truly intelligent, articulate, respectful person. Says, this is our living room of vinyl. All feel comfy and welcome. Thank you. I hope so. Yeah, trolls be trolls. No need to go there. Sorry, I'm just looking for a question here, all right? Again, Matt and Matthias, again, this community has given me not only new friends, it has broadened my mind too. Thank you. Let me go on here. Sorry, I gotta scroll, folks. Tony Ruiz. Okay, look, I've heard this before. I'm reading these. I haven't. I'm reading these as we go along. I haven't had a chance to check them before, but I will answer things in the most honest way that I know. Okay. Tony Ruiz. I myself was ignorant to the existence of the VJ store. If anyone was going to make money from me, it should certainly be somebody like you, Sam. Thank you. Who's putting time to develop the community? Thanks. Look, that's one place where I'm absolutely admitting my shortcoming. It seems like a lot of you didn't know about the VJ community. I can't believe it. But there's enough of you that have said exactly the same thing to make me believe that, yeah, I'm not doing that part right. And, you know, considering I'm not really a marketing person and I never really thought about the money part of things, I always thought about, like, the bigger picture. I thought about the community. That kind of seems altogether fair. Billy Fields of Warner Brothers, of the Warner Group, you know, took the time to read my original message where I talked about not going on for record store day, and really gave me a detailed, honest, and very altogether cool response. And one of the things that he said is that, Sam, you should learn how to get out of your own way sometimes. If you don't know how to do things, ask for help. You know a fuckload about music and you clearly have passion and you have the community, but if you don't know how to do things in the business side of things, you're not, you know, that's not what you do. Ask for help. The answer I would have here, and if there's any of you that work in the industry or any of you that can help, is, look, guys, if I knew what to ask for, I would ask for it. Please realize I wasn't trying to build a business with Vinyl Junkies. I was trying to build a community. All of a sudden, I have all of these things that I need to do. So Even if I wanted to know how to ask for help, I don't know how. I don't know what I need. So it takes a village, I guess. All I could say is I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, will help make things better? Absolutely. You know, if you really want to look at the financial part of it in terms of sponsors, because I did at the corporate sponsor level, are there opportunities here to make, to serve this community with your products? Yes, there are absolutely opportunities, but we got to put the community first. Um, it's a question of finding the right people. It's a question of finding the right fit. I don't know what that is. Okay? But if you have an idea, please message me. Let me continue here. Andrew Earl, longtime VJ member. Atlantic Canada, hey Andrew. Don't let anything get you down. Just do what you love. I've been going through a rough time since September and haven't posted a lot. I know, dude. I know. We're here for you. We are, man. We are. You know that we're here for you. I still pop in to see what's going on, and this place usually puts a smile on my face. Yeah, that's why it exists. Put a smile on your face when you need it. So, you just keep visiting, and we want things to be better. So, thanks for sharing that. See? And he owns no Coltrane. Well, if we do get to our 50 patrons, and I've got records, man. I've got great records I can give you guys. I promise. To me, one of the best parts about Vinyl Junkies is getting to introduce you about to new music. And the thing that you guys seem to get a kick out of is not the stuff that you already know, but getting hip to stuff that you didn't know. I promise I got you covered. But yeah, no Coltrane. How does that happen? Jason Kearney. Good question, Jason. How about a one-time donation? Is it possible? I don't like the monthly charge to a credit card, but do make donations to things I think matter. Jason, I believe the answer is yes. You can do a one-time. I don't know enough about Patreon in order to really have dug deep into it. That's just because I never, ever, ever considered it an option. But I know that within that system, you can make a one-time thing if you wanted to make a one-time thing. Do I have it set up on our Patreon account? I'm not sure. But if it is, you are absolutely welcome to do that. And thank you. It matters. $2 a month, $5 a month, if that's something that you think is cool, that's fine too. You do what you can, if you can, when you can. That's community. So, moving forward, what do we look at? We look at 2020. You've given me hope, that's for sure. All 19 of you have given me hope. Should say that one of those 19 is my wife. She contributes $2 a month to Vinyl Junkies. And of course, it's all our money, right? That doesn't matter. It means everything. I think the $2 and $5 donations mean the most to me because there is numbers there. Because that, at that point, hurts nobody. Nobody gets hurt for $2 or $5. But it tells you there's support no matter what. That gives me hope. That gives me that's what everything that's what community is, man. Is it possible, Jason? Yeah, it's possible. I think we've probably reached the end of our comments, so unless you guys have any other comments, I'm going to take my leave. I'll give you guys a chance to say something else if you have to say it. Until then, 2020 brings a lot, okay? My idea is to continue on VJ Radio despite all the copyright things. Try to do the show the best I can until copyright catches up to what we're doing, because when things were rolling, I definitely saw upticks, and there was definitely a connection between the show and the records you bought. So this works. It needs time to develop, and it needs, somebody more professional than me to maybe handle it. It needs a lot of things, but it works. But you know what? If it's the community, then that's us. And I'll take the time that it takes in order to get there, just so long as my family doesn't suffer for it. Is that fair? And if that's the case, then you can look forward to radio shows on Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, hang out for 2 hours and play the music. You can look forward to podcasts because I just realized that you can upload those podcasts, music and everything. So you can listen to it on your podcast if you want. You can look forward to a store that will constantly be updated. Every day I got it to update. So the freshest records come all the time. That will be absolutely competitive in terms of prices to Amazon because we get it from the same source. But being given to you by somebody who gives a shit and somebody who knows records. That's Vinyl Junkies. It's for us. We're not giving Jim Bezos another yacht. We're taking care of us. It's for us. It's our thing. And we're going to ship it properly for you and do it properly. We know vinyl. It's going to mean giveaways, initiatives, contests, and corporate patrons that will be part of it because they want to be part of it. So no more chasing anymore. No more having to chase for anything if they support. If you see corporate sponsors that support through Patreon, there's a bronze level, silver, and gold. There's no platinum because, hey, we're just getting started, baby steps, right? But there are levels there. And if those sponsors within the community, because the community, the people in the vinyl industry have supported me. Billy works in vinyl. Thank you. He believes in this. Thank you. He understands. His wife's an artist. He gets it. Okay? Another thing that I saw was one of the biggest sale in the store was from Ryan Lewis of Kindercore Vinyl. Kindercore Vinyl is a small little pressing plant out in Athens, Georgia. Started a few years ago. They've been at all three making vinyl. And I've gotten to know them over a while. And the dude makes records. He can get free records. He can buy them anywhere. He made a huge order. Why do you think he did that? He did that for me. Hey, that's an act of goodwill. So we will shed a light on those that support the community. And they'll support it this way. That way I don't have to collect anything. And I don't have to worry about the ugly part of this because there's something special about community and there's something special about doing something that is freely given. Somehow, I never thought that Patreon would be the answer, but it takes the business away from business. It brings it back to, I want to do this. So I'm here to tell you that I want to do this. I absolutely want to do this for you. I'll go as long as I can. I can't make any promises. I can promise that I'll keep trying. And I can promise that you guys have shown me that you care. You've given me great hope. And I don't feel like I felt on Thursday. I'm ready to keep going. And I'll try to figure out to make it special for those of you that do support. Are there any other questions now? One of my close friends, Frank Ferfaro, just joined. Well, hi, Frank. You know what's really cool about... No, just... Look, do what... I've said my piece. I've said my piece. I think you know where it's at. I apologize. No, I don't apologize, but Vinyl Junkies started as one thing, and it grew into this massive thing that took full-time attention, and it still needs more attention than... It needs more hours and effort than I have as one person. But I'm going to keep doing it because I care. And I'm going to keep doing it until I can't anymore. And I don't know when that'll happen. But if I got to stop, then I will. Because I got to take care of my family. And I will be an unhappy Uber driver because I think you guys know that I was made for this. I'm not supposed to be driving Uber. I'm supposed to be doing Vinyl Junkies for you. I'm supposed to be playing the records, talking about the records, introducing you to new music, getting introduced to new music, creating this magical environment, this safe space that we call Vinyl Junkies. That's my job. That's my real job. Anything else takes me away from my mission. I guess I can't say it any more than that. Thanks for paying attention. And thanks for giving me hope. I appreciate it. I'm going to say goodbye for now, all right? See you guys.